Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, hi, welcome. So the other day I began reading the book Painting Portraits in Oils by the late Rob Waring. Now if you aren't familiar with Robert Waring, he was a wonderful, beyond amazing South African painter. His portraiture exuded emotion. It was so beautiful, and honestly, I didn't hear about him. I haven't really heard of him before purchasing his book. But as soon as I saw the cover of his book and as soon as I looked at samples of his artwork, I was just floored. I was completely enamored with Mr. Waring's artwork, his stylistic choice, his passion, not only for art, but for learning how to emphasize people's strengths in the portrait, how to accentuate someone's smile. I just, his artwork just is just so amazing. And in his book, he goes on to explain how the perfect makeup for any artist is the mix of passion as well as a motivation, a desire to learn and to develop one's own skill set. So basically, to be passionate and to have a teachable spirit, to not be stubborn, to not be your own source of information, but instead to be willing and open to listen to advice, to learn from others, and to build upon your own knowledge and build upon the knowledge of other more experienced artists. One of the key takeaways that I got from his book was this: that all artists are self-taught, in the sense that no amount of teaching will result in progress unless the artist puts the theory into practice and makes his or her own discoveries along the way. So if you were thinking about becoming an artist, if you were thinking about teaching yourself, priding yourself in being a self-taught artist, going to art school, taking art courses, that's actually not a bad thing. Whatever route, whatever path you take to become an artist, whatever path you take to build your portfolio, whether that is paying for art classes or teaching yourself online, at the end of the day, every artist is self-taught because they themselves had a teachable spirit, because they put in the practice, because they utilized their resources, because they took what they learned and put it on paper. They exercised their painting muscles. They exercised their artistic brain. They exercise these things that they learned by themselves. They didn't learn it because they were forced to. They did it because they themselves wanted to grow. They wanted to learn. And so if you want to become a self-taught artist, then you gotta push yourself. Push yourself to learn more. Study the art of those you admire. For example, I just got into watercolor a few weeks ago now, and I've made a lot of progress. And that is not because I decided, oh, I'm going to paint this way. No. The reason why I made progress is because I studied the artwork. I studied the artwork of Yang Chen. His artwork is absolutely gorgeous. It's guys, just, oh my goodness, it's just breathtaking. And I love his style, and so I decided to study his artwork. You can study whoever it is you want, as long as you're happy with it, as long as it's someone you actually are inspired by and actually want to replicate their style in your own piece. Definitely study whoever you want, guys. But at the end of the day, if you want to see growth, if you want to be an artist, if you want to see improvement in your work, whether you're a self-taught artist or whatever, then you need to take their advice. You need to learn from them and apply that new knowledge. Don't just simply listen. Don't just simply learn it, but remember it and act on it. I remember I was staying at a good friend of mine, Kaya. Oh, well, hi Kaya, if you're watching this, hey, what's up, girl? I was staying at her place for a little bit, and long story short, we were supposed to just go hiking that one day. Girl, y'all, whoever's watching this, I ended up staying over for an entire week. I love her and her family. Shout out to Kaya and her family if you guys are watching this. I love you very much. Um, but I was staying at my good friend Kaya's place, right? And I was speaking with her grandfather, and he gave me the best, like the most amazing words of wisdom I think anyone has ever told me personally. And what he told me was this: it's not about what you learn, it's about what you remember. Because you can learn every single thing there is to learn, but if you don't remember it, if you don't put it into action, then what's the point? So, yeah, um, that pretty much is my message for you guys. Want to start, if you want to start something, if you want to become an artist, whether it's on YouTube, Instagram, or in art galleries, if you want to be a portrait artist, if you want to do commissions, if you want to teach yourself, if you want to be a self-taught artist, then you got to start by learning. You have to start by studying. You have to start by drawing. And how I grew as an artist, or how I grew as a quote-unquote self-taught artist, I would listen to art YouTubers. For example, when I got into oil painting a few years back, I listened to Chelsea Lang's YouTube videos. Now, at that time, I also bought a subscription to Sentient Academy, where I listened to a few other different, more renowned professional artists, listen to their videos, watch their videos, and read their tips and tricks on how to paint, right? Now, I didn't go to any specific oil painting class, like physically, but what I did was listen. I listened and I put their advice to action. And their advice, even though I'm not painting in watercolor, even though I am not painting with oil paints in this season of my life right now, what they taught me is something that I will remember forever. Something that I actually am applying to watercolor, which is values, tones, how to obtain accuracy. These are skills that I also acquired in high school, in senior year of high school, when I studied under Matthew Dixon at New School for the Arts and Academics. Shout out to Matthew Dixon. I doubt you're watching this, but I hope you are. If you are watching this, hi, your artwork's amazing. Thank you so much for ultimately changing the game for art for me. But yeah, so ultimately, if you want to be a self-taught artist, then you got to have a teachable spirit. And please remember, guys, that whatever it is you learn, just put it into action. And what I mean by that is, when I started studying the artwork of Yang Chen and his watercolor pieces, the only reason why I saw any form of progress in my watercolor and how I painted was because I actively reminded myself each and every time I put the paintbrush onto the paper. I reminded myself of every single thing he taught me, every single thing he mentioned in the video. I did not go back to my old ways of painting, but instead I did what he instructed us to do, and I began to understand watercolor better. I began to understand his style a little bit more. And so yeah, that's pretty much all the nuggets of wisdom that I have for anyone out there who is considering becoming an artist, or considering becoming a self-taught artist and wanting to teach themselves. Be open to learning from other people. Apart from that, as you can see, I am working on a lovely watercolor piece. I actually found the reference photo for this piece on Pinterest. Shout out to Pinterest. If you want to sponsor me, Pinterest, please let me know. Your girl is not against getting a cute little sponsor. I would not mind getting sponsored by Pinterest at all. Oh my goodness, just a shameless shout out to Pinterest. But yeah, I saw the most beautiful photograph of a young woman on Pinterest, and I just thought to myself, Spencer, you have to paint this. Either paint it or draw it. You just got to get onto paper because it's so beautiful. And so I'll try to insert an image right here, if I remember. So Spencer in editing, please don't forget to put an image there. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for supporting my art channel. If you like these videos of me just talking, definitely leave a comment below, leave a like, and subscribe for more art videos. Also, this piece is currently up for sale, so if you're interested in purchasing this piece, feel free to email me. My email address is in the description below. Also, I do have a Patreon page, so if you'd like to support my artwork, if you'd also like to support this channel, and if you want to learn more about drawing and how to create more accurate portraits, definitely subscribe to my Patreon page and also this YouTube channel. Anywho, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, week, month, year, and I hope to see you guys soon. Bye.